pathologist. I totally understand mechanisms of disease. And there's something called epigenetics, that everything that you eat can modify how your genes are expressed and when they're turned on. And chemicals are one of the worst things for you. But it's not just that, look at the sugar and the salt that's used as a preservative in almost everything we eat. Go to the grocery store and see if you can find things without sugar in them. You know, and look at how many people are gaining weight and having a really difficulty in controlling their weight. So chemicals is something that I want to eliminate as much as possible. All the additives we put in, that's why I grow so many things. I use elderberries in cooking. I put peaches on top of my pork chops. You know, there's so many things that you can add the flavor with, and your palate adjusts to all of that.
Welcome everyone. Hi, I'm Christine Vonderlin. I'm the Vice President of the Metuchen Farmers Market, and we're happy to be bringing you a second installment of our new series, The Market Presents. It's where we go around and talk to local chefs and artisans, farmers, producers that we have a relationship with and we love, and we'd like to have you get to know them a little bit better too. If you don't know the Metuchen Farmers Market, we are an independent nonprofit based right in the heart of Metuchen, New Jersey, Middlesex County, and every Saturday from 9 to 2 we bring you about 16 vendors from cheeses, vegetables, meats, breads, all kinds of terrific products. We have live music. It's where everything's happening. So we urge you to come on down and visit. And today we are in beautiful Hopewell, New Jersey at Stonybrook Meadows Farm, which is a farm that began in 1997, started by this fabulous farmer rancher, Ann Del Campo. Ann is one of my favorite people, so I am so excited to be here today. I have a million questions for her. She's going to show us the farm, and she'll explain to you what regenerative farming is, what permaculture is, and how she raises and grows meat and fruits and herbs that are healthy and sustainable and make us healthy, happy people. So, Ann, welcome. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for that very warm and wonderful introduction. So, I've been at the Metuchen Farmers Markets for almost a decade now.
I was wondering about that, right?
Yeah.
I've been there for 8 years.
Yeah.
And I was trying to remember. I mean, you've been there since the first day I moved to town.
Yeah, since the old location was right where it is now, but it was the pavement. It was a train station for many years.
That's right.
You know, and so we have a great following from the area as well. And we're actually in Hunterdon County, believe it or not. I love it so much that, you know, I mean, it's just very rewarding, very grounding. The animals, you know, they're just wonderful. They teach you so many things. And what I really love about farming is you're constantly learning new things. Girls! Come on! Dinner! Girls! Hi, Mama. This one here is a nice landing.
Hi.
She actually is really funny because if there was a dog here, she would be stamping her feet and like almost like, don't you dare come in our field.
And what's fascinating here, watching this unfold, you call them, they heard the grain, they come flying down the field, attack the grain, you know, as if it's the last meal they're ever going to have. Then they seem satisfied and they gently walk back. It's hilarious. They just like they have their fill and they're done and they walk away. Which I'll point out, much unlike household pets who would just ask for more and more. They know their limits.
They'll come running without the grain. All I have to do is yell girls and they come running. As a matter of fact, off time, I can't even walk out the house. So they go in that field as well, you know, and the minute I walk out the door, all of a sudden you have 40 some odd sheep making all this noise, you know, like, bah, we want something to eat, you know. Keeping up is a whole different arena. We try and just keep up with the best health techniques and the best things for the land.
Right.
So, yeah.
And you've been here for, and next year you're celebrating 25 years.
I can't believe
25 years on this,
No.
doing this.
It seems like a long time.
Yeah. And you didn't, I mean, to let everyone know, you didn't start out, you didn't grow up on a farm. You weren't a farmer.
So I was 4.5 when my brother was working on a dairy farm. And he had 2 ponies. And so he says, well, here, I'll help you saddle up. And, you know, the pony would go really fast and then, yeah, and I would go off, you know, and the pony would run to the barn. And so anyway, after a while, I learned how to hang on. I learned to ride bareback. And I was 9 years old. And Joe brought home a 6-month-old Morgan horse and said, here's your horse.
So when your daughter Laura, also about that same age, decided she wanted, now this makes so much more sense to me, when she decided she wanted a horse and did it, I think, as a 4-H project, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, boy, what a memory you
were
have.
like,
That's pretty good.
Okay, I think we can do this.
So
you weren't flying blind.
she was about 5, and I put her in riding lessons, and I couldn't just watch. So we did a couple of shows, and then pretty soon we got a trailer, and then we got a truck. And then we got our first horse was a Morgan, of course. And then Dreamer was born. You know, we were waiting for Dreamer to be born, and it was her 4-H.
Dreamer was, that was
4-H
Laura's
project.
pony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then pretty soon she's jumping, and she wants to jump 5 feet, you know, and Dreamer's too young to jump or even be ridden, and Ollie's too old to jump 5 feet. He could jump 3 feet just fine. You know, and I said, that's it. I'm not doing this boarding with 3 horses. So I walked this property. There was nothing here in early February in 1997. And Laura's a big part of all of this because she was 11 years old, you know, and I was saying, you know, I don't know if I can do this, seriously. She says, come on, Mom, you can do anything you want, you know. And she was 11. She made bread for the first time. I remember coming here and putting fencing up, not this, but the first fence we had. It was a witch's fence because the posts weren't very even because of the rocks all around here, you know. But anyway, I put it up so we could bring the horses when we moved in. And we had a couple of dogs, and so it was just a dream, an experience that I feel very fortunate to have had. You know, we have 18 stalls. We had a huge equestrian program here with riding, boarding, training, and breeding.
Yeah.
And my stallion, he's the only horse that's left out in the field. He's retired.
Okay.
He's now 22. I got him when he was 6 months old.
Wow.
And he's been on site ever since.
Oh,
And
he's
so
just for like when you have events. And
yeah,
classes.
I'll keep him forever.
Yeah.
He's taught me so much. So as a farmer, you look out for yourself, how to make things easier, how to protect your animals, you know, and having multiple pastures like we do now we did it for the horses because what you want to do is you don't want them to eat everything to the dust. You want to move them. Exactly. And so you rotate the animals on the pastures, and we do that to this date. You know, so it's actually been a really good thing for us to have so many different paddocks. Girls, come here. Oh, they're already running. Come on, girls. So we're known for our eggs in New Jersey. We have colored eggs, and I'll show you more at the market. And we've been doing eggs for a long time. It's my belief that the chickens when they're allowed to run and fly. You'll actually see them fly. Some of the chickens can fly from like the middle here all the way to the coop or vice versa, which really surprised me. We don't clip their wings or their beaks or their feet or anything. And I think that's really important. And also these fields are well nurtured. There's, oh my God, not only the cover crop and the roots that have gone in, but also earthworms everywhere. So we do a mixture of different breeds. So we get the colored eggs, brown, white, cream, and blue and green.
Beautiful. People always like to ask, do they taste different?
So the taste is how we raise them. So a lot of organic farmers buy an electric fence. They move their chicken coops all over and they put an electric fence around, and then they have a dog outside of that. But there's at least 2 acres here, 2 acres there, and we believe that the chickens being able to run around in a larger field, and they do. When they come out in the morning, they're all over.
Good about how you grow the food and how it's processed.
Yes, I feel really good about our practices and how we try and adapt to the ecosystems that we have here. That's sustainable agriculture. I have some pictures of it in the market and everything, but it's just taking the extra care to ensure that what you grow is a little safer and a little healthier. We're also very lucky because we're surrounded by trees. So many of the farms that you go are along roadways where there's heavy traffic volume. You don't realize that maybe they're organic, but the traffic volume, the gasoline and everything else is coming through.
So tell us, and that reminds me to ask you about the ecology. When we were in the back there, you were telling me a little bit about the ecology plan for the farm, what rules you're beholden to, and things you're trying to do to keep to an organic or biodynamic
farm. There's many books on permaculture, and permaculture, I feel, are the tools to promote sustainability and regenerative farming so that the land continues to thrive, the animals continue to thrive, and you continue to thrive along with it. So it takes into account everything that you want to look at the land, and you want to look at the terrain and figure out, how is this going to work out with us? So these cartons are more expensive. I usually get a pallet's worth, so there's thousands of them. And if you look at this carton, you see that there's a ton of information, nutrition facts, what you should do with the eggs, keep it refrigerated, etc. In addition to that, the labels that I make up, I do put pastured hen eggs. So I tell people the location where we are, what grade are these eggs, how many are they, and the size of the egg. So
you have to do this by law.
I have to have, where is the farm, what is the grade, what is the size, how many eggs, and then we put our other information on. So I did a trademark for Stonybrook Meadows, and now I have to put registered on it.
Interesting.
So little things like that, and everything that we label, if we look at the labels of the meat, it's all USDA processed meat, and it's very carefully labeled, and those are usually government rules.
That's government.
Yes.
Okay.
So labeling is a requirement, how everything is kept. The health inspectors come and they actually check where everything is and that the labels are correct.
Obviously, what did you make for us today, Anne?
I wanted you to guess if you could. You've eaten a lot of our sausages, so I'm curious to know if you can taste the difference.
Okay. Okay. So what I've done half on a bun, and then the others I did separately, so I wouldn't have the bread to, affect my flavor. And also Anne's friend brought some pesto from Italy. So that'll be nice to
Sicilian
taste.
pesto.
Sicilian pesto.
I haven't
this
tried
smells
it,
delicious.
So yeah.
This smells sagey, right from the get-go. That's delicious. What I love about this is that it's moist. The texture is soft, yielding. It's very juicy, and the skin keeps this beautiful crust. And the flavors are so delicate. I'm gonna guess that this is this the sage sausage?
Rosemary and
The
garlic.
rosemary and garlic.
They put so many different things in many sausages, and then there's mushroom, portobello mushroom. But now you taste it. And we have portobello
And this
mushroom.
one, this is the one. Yep,
And then
I grabbed the wrong one. It's so good.
we did a hot Sicilian, hot Italian.
That is
So
great.
just to give you a little bit of spice.
Yeah. Now, when you are planning the sausage, do you come up with the flavor profiles, or do you work that with the processor?
The good thing about my processor is that he actually has chefs from Italy come to his operation. They talk, and he makes the recipes, and then I try it, and I see which one I like. But in order to try one of his recipes, unless he gives me, a couple to try, I have to buy 25 pounds
Okay.
of any one thing. So there's only so much meat on a pig. So this is the part of farming where you have to plan ahead. So if I need, rosemary and garlic, and I need chorizo, and I need bratwurst, and I need black truffle, and all these specialty sausages that I have, there's only so much meat on each pig, so I have to decide how many pigs do I need to send. And I need to do that a year in advance. Because planning now, they are so busy because of all these other places that have shut down that you have to plan a year in advance to do that.
A year in advance.
Yeah, I know.
So you can run out of something
Yes.
pretty early.
Yes. Yes. And then you hear me say, I'm sorry, we're out.
Which is the worst thing to hear at a farmer's market.
Yeah, I mean, occasionally they'll have, yeah, I know. At the end of the day, I say it a lot, that, there's no way that you can bring everything to a market. And you can't plan. Some days everybody wants a kielbasa. You have to bring at least one, if not two, of everything you have.
Right.
To be able to, but anyway, it's pretty funny.
So, Anne, this has been an absolute delight, visiting the farm
I'm so glad
and
you
taking
came.
the time to talk to you. I know at the market it's often very busy.
It is
You have a
busy.
lot of devoted customers, but to see where it all happens and the beauty and care that you take to put into the farm and the products you bring us, it's a joy. Thank you so much for being part of the community.
Well, thank you, Christine. That was really sweet, yeah.
And thank you all for joining us for
Yeah.
another Market Presents interview video.
Absolutely. More to come.
More to come.